It's where it's at. You're listening to Left at the Valley. I don't know why you are, but you are.
All right, funny guy trying to be funny. It's time for your turn to be funny. So it's time for another
no.
brilliant
That's when I'm bad at it, though.
That's when everyone's bad at it. If you're trying to be funny, you're not funny.
Exactly.
Doesn't work that way. So yeah, I got this. So I don't know if you guys know who David Barton is.
Name is familiar.
Right, he's they call him a pseudo historian, right?
Pseudo historian. So
yeah.
Okay.
Just somebody who read a lot of books. He doesn't have a degree.
Oh, see,
Right.
I hear that, and I think he rewrites history to fit his narrative.
Thank you. Yes, that's exactly what it is. Because like NPR did an article on him called the name of the article is the most influential evangelist you've never heard of, because he's.
Wow.
He really like tried to go back and say that like the Constitution had Bible verses in it and things like that.
Okay,
and NPR like did like they were saying like the fact that you were born, like you had to be born in that country in order to hold office, right? That's biblical, right? And he cites verses.
Definitely biblical.
Yeah, and he cites verses, and NPR like went and researched, like, yeah, this is a stretch at best. Like, it was just nonsense.
So in other words, he's always done what Christians do: just reinterpret things to make sure it fits his political motive.
Yeah.
Hey, are you sure that NPR is credible? They have weird stories about ninjas.
Yeah. I was just thinking the exact thing. Did we fact check this?
Dude, NPR is probably one of the best because I feel like it's like the news source that like academics look to, and academics folks are like harder to lie to. They are.
That's true.
Hold on now. It's like,
we don't put up with your bullshit.
Yeah, like I've actually studied in this field, dipshit, and like it's harder to lie to them. But yeah, it's just interesting. So we have like a clip here of David Barton and his son. This is his son talking.
Yeah.
I want to say Timothy Barton. I want to say. Could
Sure,
be
let's go with that.
All right.
That works.
Little
Barton
Timmy.
Jr.
Yeah, little.
So shall we cue up this another brilliant moment brought to you by religion here?
Let's do it. Yeah.
Let's do this. I got it.
Pete Buttigieg did an interview just a day or two ago where he identified where he's been, and he was on paternal leave for the last 2 months because he and his husband just had a child. Now, he said they had a child. They really clarified that obviously they didn't have the child because men can't have children, contrary to what, 2021 people want to tell us.
Men can have children,
that's not how this works.
by the way, y'all.
He said he just had a child, and so he's been on paternity leave for the last 2 months. Now, paternity leave, it's one thing to be on maternity leave, right? When a mom has a baby and her body has to physically recover, and then she's taking care of the baby, and there's nurturing involved in the baby, and maybe the dad needs to be home for a couple days to help take care of mom.
Couple days.
What? This is what's so bizarre. Like, you have two men, neither of whom.
I shouldn't have said that, but I just couldn't.
Well, but this is the illogical position of it. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, because you heard Tucker say it, and now you've repeated it.
It's interesting that these guys don't seem to realize that a new child bonding doesn't need to just bond with mom. Mom doesn't need to be there just to take care of the child. The dad can also take care of the child. The dad also needs to bond with the child. This is what paternity leave is for.
And can I just also point out that in Canada, women can have up to, let me rephrase this. Parents can have up to 18 months of parental leave. And it can be the mother or the father who takes that. The only thing that the mother gets that the father doesn't get, or the birth giver gets, is 6 weeks of maternity leave, which is to recover from having a baby.
Yeah.
And then after that, you switch over into parental leave, and either parent can take parental leave. So let's just this is totally a legitimate thing, and this guy's an idiot.
Well, because they believe that hey, fathers are supposed to be creepy and distant, man. Like that's how that's supposed to work.
Well, if you look at the numbers,
child, and that's it.
If you look at the numbers, the group that engages with their children the least, white men.
Yeah.
Damn.
No,
yeah,
white men.
White men. That's a very interesting fact, but I think you're right. Yeah.
But it shows exactly what this guy's mentality is. He thinks that, as a man, your job is to go to your job, and that's it.
Yeah.
The kids and all that, that's her job. You just need to go out there and make money. That's all you need to do, and that's a happy marriage. That doesn't work that way, man.
Yeah.
We've tried this since the boomers. It hasn't worked. Okay, we need to change this. This is the reason we're having these laws and these social safety net standards. They're having a raising the bottom, if you wish, because we've realized that leaving mom at home to take care of the kids while dad's going to work all the time and no interaction between the two does not work. It does not raise healthy children. It just doesn't.
No. Well, the thing that they're not talking about either is he hasn't been not working. He's just been working from home.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't even realize that. Well, that's even worse.
Like he's still doing conference calls. He's still doing all kinds of stuff. He's not just take 2 months off, don't do a single thing. He's still working.
But even if he did, like, who the fuck
had a
cares? He just had a baby, man. You gotta take some time to like be with your baby. This is nuts.
Now, to just make sure I'm thinking of the same person, this is just a gay couple who had like a surrogate, right?
Yeah.
And the surrogate had the baby, and then they immediately, and I believe that there was some photos posted of them in a hospital bed that created a bunch of controversy.
I
too.
don't know if there was a surrogate or if it was adoption, but it doesn't matter.
Well,
I think they adopted twins.
Oh, they did? Okay.
So I'm thinking
I
of
don't-
somebody
yeah.
different then that's also in office that just recently had
Yeah, this was the guy who was Mayor Pete before.
Yeah.
okay.
He ran
Okay.
for
So I'm
president.
thinking of somebody else. There was another politician recently who I think they had a surrogate and they had a baby, and they took a picture in a hospital bed with this brand new baby and posted it, and the internet went up in outrage because they were, taking a hospital bed and blah blah. Anyway.
I also hate the way these guys are kind of depicting Mayor Pete as weak for taking paternity leave. It's not a weak thing to take a break for your child.
No,
it is not a
it's
weak thing at all.
smart,
It's a smart thing.
especially if there's twins.
The whole idea of man up and go to work and make some money is not a good thing. It's
And they
not.
said, and they said a couple of days. It was like, it's like, are they, alive? Okay, cool. I'm going to work.
Cool.
Fuck that cat.
You're
Whatever, I'm
cool.
outta here.
You just
What the
give birth to
fuck?
a baby, but you can handle it, right?
Yeah,
You can
Yeah.
handle it.
that's what
You
they
got
need.
this. Jesus.
But let's be
Christ.
real here.
What world do
The
they
thing
live
that-
in?
The thing they're not saying is they're really just mad that 2 gay men have
Yes.
babies.
Yes.
That's
That's
the main
exactly
thing. Like
it.
they're refusing to acknowledge that aspect of it because they
Mhm.
know how distasteful it is. But that's why they're needling at all this dumb, insignificant shit.
Yeah.
Because otherwise they wouldn't give a fuck.
It's insignificant because they also believe that maternity leave is simply to recover physically. It's not
not.
just that.
Well, the
Yeah.
first 6 weeks is.
It's part of that, but it's also time for you to bond with your child.
Yeah, the first
Which-
6 weeks is meant for healing, though.
God knows, it's important to bond with your child throughout the first few years at least.
Mhm.
So if you have a few months to do that first, that's very, very important.
So let's finish this clip. 'cause it
But
looks
real
like-
quick,
Finish this.
real quick before we finish it, I'm sorry, but like one of the things too that's really obnoxious is like Tucker Carlson covered this on his fucking show, right? and
that's why it's
he-
here.
Yeah, right. And he made the joke that, how is he going to breastfeed? They can't breastfeed. They're men. Ha ha ha. And it's so funny. And they make the same damn joke. There's not an original thought in any of these motherfuckers' heads. I swear to God, I've heard that joke 4 times from 4 different fucking, right-wing pundits.
And I would also like to answer to that. Men can buy things that strap the bottle on like a breast, and it is simulating breastfeeding for that child. So go fuck yourself.
Exactly.
Let's finish with that.
Yes.
2 men, neither of whom physically birthed the child, have been on paid leave. We have been, the American taxpayer, we have been paying their salary for the last 2 months to not show up, to not do their job. He's been on paid leave.
During
and
a
then,
crisis.
Right.
You wonder how somebody could be that dumb and still breathe. But once you start marrying a man, and then thinking that
go.
you have a child and you can take paternity, once you cross that line, it's not a far stretch to see things totally different. It's backwards.
When you remove
how
the
dare we
objective
think
moral
it's
standard of
totally
biblical
different?
truth, right? And every man does what's right in their own eyes, then who's to say what's right and wrong?
What?
Oh my God, you stupid son of a bitch.
Man, go back to your
I'm
fucking
so
Walton's
sorry.
house and
Yes,
just turn all the lights off and just stay asleep.
Okay.
All right.
So thus far, what he
You're a
said,
fucking nutbag.
and he's using the term men, but if you can't take paternity leave or do anything parent-wise with the child you've adopted, so let's just say straight people, according to what he just said, even straight people aren't parents to adopted children. They're just watching a kid. It's just long-term babysitting to them. Like,
Yeah,
what?
that's
Who would
unreal.
say such a thing?
And I also
Yeah.
I also find it outrageous that they're decrying the fact that we're paying their wages, taxpayer paying their wages. I said, you know what?
So what?
I will happily pay more taxes if we get more paternity leave, and it helps create a better society as a whole.
Right?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Where you guys should really be crying is we just spent trillions of dollars in a war for 20 years.
Mhm.
That's where your money's
And
disappearing.
they just committed to, what was it, $3.4 trillion in spending for the military over the next couple of years.
It's way more than that. The 3.5.
I mean, look at the spending Trump did. Like, he like tripled the deficit or some shit. It's unbelievable.
And it's all about war and military. It's not social. Anyway.
It's only arguments when it's convenient. You know what I mean? That's all it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was another brilliant moment brought to you by these religious douchebags, or however it goes. I don't know.
Yeah, right.
Thank you so much for that. All right, let's take a quick pause, and when we come back, we'll be back with returning champion Mike Wiseman. We'll be talking about his new book.
Yeah.
Stay
Fuck
with
yeah.
us.
It's my buddy.
Mm.